Keefe D, I know we covered this before, but Keefe D is sticking to his guns and saying that Reggie Wright Sr. and Reynolds accompanied Suge to meet with Orlando Anderson after the Vegas incident to, give him a check so that he would drop his lawsuit against the Tupac estate and would also, testify in Suge's case. I know you've said otherwise, but can you tell me again your thoughts on him sticking to this story?
Yeah, well, number one, because that's what he said in his immunity agreement, so he got to stick to that. Because they catch him in a lie, they could, they could pull the agreement. They catch you in one lie when you have what they call a queen for the day, then it all gets unraveled. So he better stick to that story. But maybe he's not lying. Maybe he honestly believed that. I don't know how he could, because they were hiding in bushes. If y'all listen to what Orlando said or somebody said in the interview, they were hiding in bushes because they didn't want us to see that they were there. But it wasn't Reggie Sr. and Fred. It was myself, Norris Anderson, and David Kenner was there to meet with Edie Fall. I done told this story way before Keefe D even started doing the interviews. So why would Reggie be having to lie to cover and all of that? I don't know. But hey, that's Keefe. That's Keefe D's story. Maybe he was mistaken. But like I keep telling y'all, we didn't really know Keefe like that. Y'all want to think Keefe this big keen tut dude in Compton. Keefe was in prison most of the time. And then when he wasn't, he was a dope head. Nigga was on drugs. Him and his boy was, I even heard him try to say, I got him mixed up with somebody. No, nigga, I ain't got him mixed up with nobody. Nigga, you was a smoker. Anybody from the hood that's tell me that you wasn't a smoker prior to going to prison and getting hooked up with the Colombian, they a motherfucking lie. You was a smoker, Keefe. That's why you got the issues you got now with dementia and all of that. But, I mean, there's a lot of people. Shit, everybody in the 80s was on Sherm. Half the niggas that you see me cool with and I brag about was on Sherm back then. They were PCP heads, angel dust and all of that. And a lot of them smoked that crack. But, yeah, nigga, that's what you was. But, it wasn't Reggie Sr. It wasn't Fred Reynolds. Fred did work for me at one time, but Fred has stopped working for me after the El Ray incident. He no longer worked for me. He stayed, and he got in, that was enough trouble for him after that. Even me, I had to retire after that. So after the El Ray situation, whatever date that was, the Soul Train in 90, let's see, Pac wasn't even, was Pac with us yet? Pac wasn't even with us yet, so it would have had to been 95 when the El Ray thing happened. So Fred had stopped. Fred was no longer working with us. So I don't know why he says that, what the motive is. It ain't a big issue. So other than he just trying to make me look like I wasn't there or weak or anything. But y'all think about this. And I know this for a fact. Reggie, Suge, David Kenner was stupid enough to give Orlando Anderson $60,000 before he goes and testify. Before he goes testify? Really? Man, that paperwork, and that was attorney paperwork that got done. It wasn't like no bag of cash just handed to him. Nigga, that was done through the attorneys and the agreement because they were suing Death Row for the assault and battery that took place on Orlando by all those Death Row employees. And so I know a lot of y'all be like, how y'all gonna give Tupac killer this? How y'all gonna get? Number one, because we were trying to save Suge from going to jail. And number two, because Death Row Records and his staff and Tupac Shakur was worth a lot more than $60,000 at that time. That was peanuts. That was a trip to New York to us. That was a watch or something. So yeah, that's why. Suge just paid a motherfucker $700,000 for putting a cup of piss to his mouth. Mark Bell. So $60,000, that was nothing. We knew how the law and the possibility of a probation violation, because that's the only reason anybody got paid on any of those judgments or settlements, because Suge would do stuff that could have got his probation violated. And to get the witnesses to retract their beliefs or their statements, you give them money. It's how America works. Why Donald Trump in trouble now? He was trying to get a bitch to retract her statements. Sometimes you get caught, sometimes you don't. There's a lot of people that done got paid. Why we ain't never heard a story about Kobe Bryant from the victim on that? Because she got $4 million not to talk about it. Even though the bitch had 3 niggas come in her pussy and butthole that day. Same day. Three different combs they pulled out of her. Yeah, don't get me started. But that's what happens, y'all. People pay to keep shit quiet or to tell a different story. Yep.